Don't use that. Why? That's mommy's. Use this if you want to smell like that tea.
You never had to question if you were a man, so why give your money to a corporation that doesn't know if their products are made for men? Try Jeremy Razor's hair and body products. Jeremy shampoo and conditioner are made with tea tree oil to naturally clean and restore your hair and scalp, argan oil to soften your hair and not your masculinity, and aloe vera to moisturize the hair and scalp. It's all paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, and most importantly, 100% woke-free. Not to mention, it smells amazing. Go to jeremyrazors.com and use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. That's jeremyrazors.com. Use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. Save 15%. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's video, we are going to discuss Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors was just found guilty on 3 counts of misdemeanor charges, I guess abuse, whatever you want to call it. And on Twitter, black Twitter, they're celebrating. They're celebrating because, you have black women, they're celebrating and saying, oh, that's what he gets. He should have never been dating a white woman. They dogging him out. And then they're also dogging out Megan Good. They're dogging out Megan Good. And we're going to take a look at the video, what he was convicted on. I don't know how he was convicted on this video because clearly he was not the aggressor. He looks like he was trying to escape this woman, but I guess it was a tie. And I guess if it's like a jury standoff, I'm not for sure. I guess the judge makes the call. Don't know what happened, but he was convicted. And we'll take a look at what the judge said. Okay, so that's all today on another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
Good evening all to you. You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. We have David Bailey, Ren Flang, Greg, and Ahmad L. Gracie. We are going to take a look at Jonathan Majors' case. It looks as if, and I don't know too much about Jonathan Majors. I do watch movies that he was in, of course, because I am a Marvel's fan. But he was accused of domestic violence. Back, the beginning of this year, he was accused of domestic violence. And everyone was like, oh my God, he beat this, little lady up, this little white lady up. And, of course, all the feminists came to the lady's aid. They believed her over Jonathan Majors. They showed videos of him. Well, the first initial videos, they showed him, I guess, getting out the cab, leaving her. And at one point of the night, and then they show her approaching these people, asking to use their phone because her boyfriend just beat her up. That's what she claimed. And come to find out, Jonathan actually was not the aggressor in the relationship. He was actually literally trying to get away. This is what I've seen from the videos. Okay, so let me just share with you what TMZ put on their website. And to me, it's kind of sad because I don't believe in domestic violence. I'm not a person that, oh yeah, you should be whipping people up. And I believe some guys go through domestic violence more than girls would claim, because they're afraid to speak out, because it's like, oh, you got beat up by a girl. You got beat up by a girl. And so a lot of those stories will remain untold. But then you will have a female, she will be assaulted by a guy, but the police will actually believe her. And the police will actually take the female side, even if she is the aggressor. It's starting to get, I don't know, in some cities, you probably get the right people behind you in court that you could speak up and say, no, she was the aggressor. I know one of my friends, her sister got into a situation and they actually arrested her sister for domestic violence. But I guess, people are starting to become aware, like sometimes men are not the aggressor. Now, do I feel as if you are the aggressor and you are causing harm to whoever you're causing harm to, you have the right to be in jail. You should be under the jail. So this particular video I want to share with you. This is on TMZ, and this is when they was out at the club before they got into the altercation. Now, and you see they're pointing this lady out. And she's at the bar with her friends, having a good time. And apparently during this night, I guess she was too inebriated, and Jonathan Majors said something about it. So, and he basically was saying, now this was back in March 25th, 2023. So he was basically saying on this phone conversation, and we'll view the phone conversation. Hey, I got these big old movies coming up, and you out and about, you're a reflection of me. I don't appreciate it. How do you think it will make me look? And you getting drunk and all that stuff. So, and that's her leaving, right? Then you have this other video. Let me just share this video with you. And now, and this is on someone else's channel. Okay, so I'm not gonna play their audio, but I'm just gonna play the video. So this is Jonathan Majors right here. Jonathan Majors trying to push her into the vehicle. He's trying to push her into the vehicle. Let me just go back if you guys didn't see that. He pushed her into the vehicle. He's trying to literally force her into the vehicle. And his attempt wasn't successful. So he was like, I don't know what he was saying to her, but What would you say to a woman if you like get in the goddamn car? Woman, didn't I tell you to get your ass in the car? And she probably like, no, Jonathan, no. I just want to go out and let's walk. He was like, no, I'm not trying to be with you right now. So he was like, then come on. I don't know if he had her hand at that point, but he escorted her to the sidewalk. And he's walking fast. And now he took off. They left the car door open. You see him literally picking her up and pushing her into the vehicle. And she's still trying to get out. Okay. And let me say this. In the court case, they said she had a head injury from that. Now, prior to them testimony and everything, they dropped like 3 or 4 of the charges against him. But Jonathan admitted saying, yeah, I did pick her up and put her in a vehicle. And she did say she hit her head. Is that a cause for domestic violence? No. That's saying, hey, this girl was inebriated and I was just trying to put her in the vehicle. And she's flailing around or whatever she's doing. She's not wanting to go in the vehicle. So I stopped. Okay, you don't want to get in the vehicle? Well, then I'm about to go about my way. That's what it looks like, what happened. And he admitted that part. So he's pushing her into the vehicle and she didn't want to get into the vehicle. And he probably was going to tell whoever's driving, can you take her home? But she didn't want to go home, probably. Because she was inebriated. She was out there drunk. So he took off running. And she like, no, Jonathan, don't leave me. And he's like, leave me alone. Woman, I'm trying to get away from you. So finally she found some suckers. She like, okay, I was just assaulted. Can I use your phone? And of course, these fools said, oh, who assaulted you? Where do you live? And she crying. Remember, first she claimed Jonathan broke her finger or cut her finger, broke her finger. Remember that? That was a lie. Clearly, her finger wasn't injured in this in this video, because they're literally about to let her use the phone. So then she found, some good Samaritans and saying, oh, I need to use your phone. Please let me use your phone. He assaulted me. And look at Jonathan Majors walking by. So you're not going to talk to me? What, Jonathan? He like, no, I don't want to be bothered. Like, damn, you acting crazy. I'm tired of this. And he pushed her off and he started running. He should have ran to the police department. Help, this crazy lady following me. That's what he should have did. But no, this is what men don't do, not let alone black men. Men don't do this, period. He just running for his life. He's running for his life. And her crazy ass running, about to get hit by a car, running after him. He's trying to escape his captor, and look, he's still running. And finally, she, I guess she got tired of running after him. And she's like, "Excuse me, you guys. You mind if I could use your phone because I was just attacked?" And he was just there and he just attacked me. And it was like, oh my God. Can you imagine this? And this is how, and he's walking by. And there he is. Now, this could have went wrong too. This could have went wrong because she got these two guys involved. And she up there crying, being all emotional. Maybe they had the wherewithal to say, oh, yeah, this lady is drunk. And heard what he said. But who's stepping to Jonathan Majors? I mean, he's a big dude. So, but it could have went wrong. They could have been drunk and they probably wanted to fight him. That could have went left, but it didn't. And so she's like, Jonathan, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why you're so being mean to me? Why are you running away? Just talk to me, Jonathan. What are you going to do? I don't have my phone. What are you going to do? Oh my God. And he probably like, leave me the hell alone. You could tell he's a real respectable man. I'm going to pull this other call up that he had with her. But you could tell he's irritated. He's a real respected person. You could tell he was raised right because in this audio tape, he was very mild-mannered. And he didn't even know she was taping him. She was taping him. He was very mild-mannered and he was basically saying, yeah, you going out and showing your butt and you expect me to you expect me to be okay with this. And I have a reputation to uphold. Like, and he named off some civil rights people and about the black movement. And he was like, do you know who these people are? So I'm put in a position to uplift my people and you're acting like an ass. That's basically, he didn't say that, but that's basically what he was saying. Let me get to some of your comments. David Bailey, of course he was going to be guilty. If we can't see what's going on, then we'll never see it. It's too many cases of this. The attack has been underway. Yeah. You said at least Disney waited till he was found guilty before firing him. Greg, good evening from Brooklyn. Ahmad, thanks for joining. We got some people from Fresno, Amarillo, Texas, Detroit. What up, though? Greg, the Manhattan DA mission believe all women to advance their agendas, just as Kevin Porter Jr. His girlfriend said he did nothing, but the DA said we had to fight for NYC. That's crazy. So we're supposed to believe the U.S. judicial system is systematically racist, but not when the black defendant was involved with the white woman. What happened to love who you want to love? Yeah, you should love who you want to love. I don't even think it's I wouldn't say in Jonathan case, well, people probably will say, oh, they did that because he's a black man. No, New York is pro woman. They did that because he is a man. You see how they put that filing for you could claim sexual assault uh for anybody, I think 30 years prior. You can't get criminally convicted, but people could sue you. So that's why P Diddy, and I'm not saying P Diddy is innocent or anything, but that's why P Diddy is going through the things he's going through. 20 years later, people are bringing charges up against him. And there are some other famous people that's in that realm. But New York is pro woman. DA attorney who's prosecuting Trump, she hates men, particularly white men. You're too white. That's what she said. You're too white and too pasty. And she was talking about men. And they had some, I'm going to pull it up. They had some men in the background, white men talking about, oh yeah, you too white and too pale or pasty. And I'm thinking like, you a white man, so why would you be real with that? So men is on the chopping block. Like I said last night, if you a man, you on a chopping block, and you definitely better not be no white man. You on a chopping block. They don't, and it's always, as far as domestic violence, is the court system has always been set up to believe the women. Back in the day, they didn't really care. Now this is before me and your time. But back in the day, they didn't really care. But now they got these laws where the system is set up to protect women. But now the tables has turned. You have some women assaulting men, or making false claims towards men because they know the system is set up to protect them and not the men. So I don't know if about systematically racism for Jonathan Majors. And maybe so. I don't know what the judge looked like, but he won't do any jail time. No, Greg, he's not going to Rikers Island. They talking about he might serve 1 year jail time, but come on, he didn't even injure her. Now, does she have a lawsuit against him? Yeah, they found them guilty, so he's liable if she has any punitive damages. So she could she could sue him. Tree said, "Wrong brother, right color." Wrong brother, right color. She could sue him because now they found him guilty of this crime. Now he's civilly responsible for that head injury, but I don't even think she ever went to the hospital. I guess he won't do that again. $1 million actor career is over. They said we couldn't get OJ. We are going to get Majors. You have to be really smart if you have money. Yes, you have to be really smart if you have money. Gracie said he sure could run, Forrest, run, Forrest, run. Yeah. So, we saw basically what happened. Nothing else happened outside this incident. I don't even think they had any encounters besides this one phone call. And let me let you guys hear that. This one phone call, like I said, and it wasn't a phone call. It was a recorded. It was a recorded conversation. And in this recorded conversation, like I said, he seemed pretty calm. He seemed pretty calm on this recording. Let me just see if I can find it without TSR. Okay, so this is some of the text messages that was sent. This is from Variety. It says several disturbing text messages and audio recording from Jonathan Major's ongoing trial. The newly released evidence, which shown in court last week, is between the girlfriend Grace and Jonathan. The evidence includes text messages and Majors threatened to kill himself and an audio recording of an argument in which Majors told Jabari she needed to act more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. Jonathan, I'm sorry, you could say to act like a certain person, and if they're not that person, they're not that person. But it is okay to stress to the person that you're involved with, hey, this is the type of behavior that I will accept or will not accept. I think that's important in anybody's relationship, married, girlfriend, boyfriend, anyone. You could be talking to your husband, you could be talking to your girlfriend, you could be talking to your wife. And if when it gets to your wife and your husband, they should already know what is acceptable and what's not, or what you would deem acceptable. And a lot of people will say, oh, they just trying to be controlling. Nah, no. It's not controlling. It's just having some decency and common respect for yourself, because you always got to train or teach people how you want to be treated. You always have to do that. But anyway, he said he wanted her to act like Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. Well, and like I said, Jonathan, was she acting like Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama when you met her? So you can't expect her to act like that. Okay, and says the text message from September of 2020 and discussed a prior incident between Majors and Jabari when they were a couple. Majors appeared to dissuade Jabari from going to the hospital after she suffered an injury to her head. If fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital, Majors wrote. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation. Even if you do lie, they suspect something. Jabari responded, I would tell the doctor I bumped my head if I go. I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? Part of Jabari's text message has been redacted, but she wrote, I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so. I promise would never mention you, but I understand your fear. During the testimony last week, Jabari said the Majors had previously warned her about trusting the police, what they would do to him as a Black man. And so Major had a really, I guess, a valid fear, you know? Majors wrote, last night I considered killing myself versus coming home, and I probably will kill myself if not really contemplating anymore. I am a monster. I'm a horrible man and not capable of love. I am killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion. I now this is the first time I heard this, but who says this? Now, if he's really suffering some type of mental issues, I suggest he seek counseling. But is this part of a manipulation tactic? I'm not for sure. It's just fake. This is what this text message said. It's just fake. And I fear you have no perspective of it could happen to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Um, You said you needed love last night, and I put my feelings aside and I tried to give you that. I need love too, or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man that I don't deserve it and should just kill myself. This way, my way of existence is miserable. I want to feel like you want to be together and to not embarrass yourself for everything you said to your friends and family. Last night, I considered killing myself versus coming home. And you said you needed love last night, and I put my feelings aside and tried to give you that. I don't know why they repeated that. I wouldn't, okay, so, and it says something about her not going to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so. And he puts, you can't reject love if there is no love, no real love. It's just lip service. I gave you love last night and this morning before I got out of bed. When you got up, you were not full of love at all. I didn't feel it at all. You could have just given me a hug or walked close to me or asked me if you could give me a hug, not the other way around. It works both ways. I will probably meal myself. It's not really contemplating anymore. So after he said, talking about, taking his own life, he said, Jonathan, you can't say this. I'm going to have to call someone. I'm sorry for not hugging you this morning. I really am. I was sleepy and disoriented by the fact that you thought I would break your necklace. I love you so much, obviously. You do mean you've put this in motion. Oh, no, she said, what do you mean when you put this in motion? These text messages don't make sense. Only reason why I said it doesn't make sense because they're bouncing everywhere. I love you so much, obviously. You have a family, Jonathan, a mother and a daughter. What would Ella do without you? Do don't do this to her. Don't even think these thoughts. So all the other messages were redacted. So in the phone conversation, so she in the phone conversation, it says be Major says be doing right now, period. This is actually period. Do you understand that? Yeah. Do you really love me? Do you really? And she said, yes. Then he said, then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? She said, I'm sorry. I would like to get to a point where your friends know what job I'm on and go. I think Grace is going to be out of commission. Get me? Yeah, I won't. No, no. Do you understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be of a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. Do you know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife. I know. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm sorry. So he says, let me just lay it out for you, right? I'm just going to say this, my temper, my shit, all that said, right? And let's say I'm a great man and a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but my for my culture and the world. That is actually a position that I'm in. That's real. And I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I worked, and that's the situation. The woman that support me, that I support, the work that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. Last night, 2 nights ago, you did not do that. And she says, I'm sorry. You did not do that with which was took away from the plan. And the plan is everything. If it was just you, maybe I could swallow it. Or I was just gonna like, hey, let's go just bed. Let's just go to bed. I just gonna I don't know who wrote this, but I guess that's what he said. I'm just going to bed. I'm not hungry, blah, blah, blah. Because Grace isn't here. Why? She was drunk. Why else? She was clogged by whatever was going on. Fine. I can take that. Fine. And so the district attorney released injuries from the that alleged assault. And she was treated at the hospital. And so I guess she jammed her finger. They said it's a fracture, a hairline fracture. Um, and her ear got gouged out. So, and this is what happened. On Wednesday morning, Judge Michael Gaffey rejected the motion by majors lawyers to dismiss the charges. Priya Chaudhary and Seth Zuckerman, Major's attorney, argued that the prosecution did not have sufficient evidence to prove legal requisite intent for Major's assault and harassment charges. Judge Michael Gaffey denied the request, which followed another rejection motion to dismiss the case in the fall before the trial started. The Zuckerman cited the testimonies in Jabari Naveed Swara, the driver of the car, which the alleged incident occurred, for the rejected dismissal request. The lawyer argued that the testimonies did not show Majors had legal requisite intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm Jabari. In Jabari's testimony last week, she said that Majors was trying to keep her out of his way and trying to make him stay in the car during the alleged assault. On Monday, Swarware testified that Majors opened the car door trying to get rid of Jabari. Majors said, "Leave me alone. I want to go. I have to go." And I was not doing nothing. Jabari was doing everything. Zuckerman cited these parts of Jabari's and Swarer's testimony is the motion to dismiss. But he didn't dismiss it. Why didn't he dismiss it? You guys put it in chat. Why don't you think he dismissed it? Because Majors, because he a black man, or he just a man, period. They don't care. They saw, well, I could see, how dare you, some we could say white men do not appreciate black men dating white females. We could say that. But is that the case with Michael Gaffey? He's a judge. He's a judge in New York. But He dismissed. I think he dismissed some of the charges. So maybe he saw um sufficient evidence for.
Where's my pencil?
I'm not for sure. I don't know. He saw sufficient evidence to not dismiss this case. Anyway, Gaffey ruled there is sufficient and competent evidence that is clear Majors and Jabari's was involved in the altercation, has indicated she suffered substantial pain. And I think the judge was wrong on this, because you could suffer substantial pain with getting into the altercation, but was he malicious on his intent to cause her harm? No, he wasn't malicious. And if any person was seeing that tape, you could visibly see that he was literally trying to place her in the car or put her in the car. And maybe because he tried to force her in the car, maybe, okay, you can't force people in the car. But can you force people from stop following you? Because she was clearly trying to be with him and he wasn't trying to be in her space. The prosecution rested on Wednesday morning and the defense began calling its witness. The first to take the stand was New York PD Detective Ronnie Meha, who had reviewed Major's case, and Dr. Tammy Weiner, an emergency medical attending physician speaking as a medical expert. They got a lot of people on here just for a domestic violence. Domestic violence, but he's Jonathan Majors. He got a lot of money. The defense also argued that Jabari fabricated the allegations to get back at Majors after the breakup. They met in August 2021 on the London set of Marvel's Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, and dated for 2 years before Majors ended the relationship one night of the alleged assault. Majors is on trial. Well, he was on trial. He was found guilty for the 4 misdemeanor counts. Well, it might have been 3. Let me just look at it. So he was found guilty. And what's crazy about it, everybody on Twitter, oh yeah, he was found guilty. That's what you get, Jonathan. You dating them white women. You dating no white woman. That's what you get. You shouldn't be crossing over. And Megan Good, you stupid as hell too. That's what they're saying. Megan Good stupid. Because she stood by Jonathan Major's side, because this is what Black Twitter is saying. Y'all share this far and wide. The Black Ayatollah Jason Black about to go in. Convicted lessons and answers. That's what they're saying. Somebody said, effing with them white women, take them away games. Okay. Dr. Boyce Watkins, he said, this is going to be bad for his career, but there are many lessons to be learned. Jonathan Majors just lost a ton of Black wealth. Brothers, be mindful of the company you keep. It could cost you everything. They were going to do it regardless. This was just an excuse they needed. I still don't see what the hell that jury was doing by finding him not guilty, but guilty. if they were any reasonable doubt in this case, should have been fully acquitted. I would appeal. And they said Jonathan Majors dropped by Marvel after the guilty verdict. Well, was he in the next sequel? I thought I got to go back and watch that movie. Anyway, and Dr. Umar Johnson, he's going to have some stuff saying about it. We'll stay tuned, Dr. Umar. The mainstream media tries to make up stories in favor of the lying woman, Grace Jabari. Keep in mind, Jonathan Majors was literally trying to escape this evil nonsense. This is called This back in October. Invited me to the show, and we talked about this misstep of his lawyer leading to the trial. So, some people we're zero empathy for Majors because we all know he had he not been messing with that, he wouldn't have been in that. I think that's a lie. This is what I get pissed off. But black folks are saying, oh, he shouldn't been messing with that white woman because he wouldn't have been in that predicament. No, he probably would still be in that predicament. He still probably would have been painted as the abuser because you know how black women are. It was a split verdict. Majors 34 was found guilty of a misdemeanor assault in the third degree, recklessly causing physical injury and harassment in the second degree, which is a violation. Any thoughts? Harassment is kind of stretched. It seemed like she was harassing him. But he did cause injuries by placing her in the car. I'm pretty sure he did cause that. Her finger being fractured in her head, whatever. And because she probably was fighting him too, or trying to stop him from putting him in the car. And this is the lady. Man's got tricked out his whole career by a chick that looked like this. Boy, I'd be pissed. I don't think she ugly. I think she cute. But black on Twitter is saying, messing with those white women. But they roasting Megan Good. And this is the females roasting Megan Good. They're really being mean to her. I think they are. You guys let me know. I mean, what do you think about this? I think the jury got it wrong. I mean, he did cause injuries, but was it an assault? Like, is he a domestic violence person? No, I don't think so. I think, and I think he should seek for an appeal. I really do. I really think he should seek an appeal for this because it doesn't make sense. Somebody put N-word about to dump Megan Good and be back with the new white gal by the spring. I don't know about that. Somebody said, and F Megan Good too. A lot of black women saying F Megan Good. Megan Good went from a pastor to a convicted felon. Yikes. He's not a convicted felon. Just stop it. Megan Good went from worse to worser. Even if they was a PR relationship, Megan Good is a weirdo for standing behind the man. So F her now. She's looking dumb. These are women saying this. And these are people that probably not logical. Some women say you don't have a right to defend yourself, or you don't have the right to if a woman is assaulting you, you don't have the right to do nothing. You just, I guess, take the beat down. But I think that's not being realistic. I think if you assault a man, now if he act in constraint, you need help. If he act, you need to finish this before you come over here. Finish this right here. I think men exercise, if they exercise constraint, that's their right to reserve themselves. But if you say I'm gonna beat a man up or try to beat a man up, you really probably can't. And they strike back. Well, some men are gonna strike back. So you get what you get. I guess it all depends on how that man was raised. Um, I don't think it's reasonable for a woman to say, "Oh, I'm going actually hit a man and expect a man to say, hey, I'm not going to defend myself." And I'm not talking about knocking her out cold turkey. I'm just saying, just because holding her down or straight with holding her arms or placing her in a car or whatever and trying to get away from her. And like I said, it's not logical for women to think you hit a man and he's not going to touch you. I don't think that's illogical. That's why you should keep your hands to yourself. And most men that I know of that was raised right, if a woman will actually, hopefully they don't even get in that type of situation. But if they have a woman hitting them, they are going to try to restrain her. Instead of hitting her back, they'll try to restrain her or try to, get away from that person. But a lot of women out here, they feel as if, oh, you should never do that to a woman. Well, what if the woman's doing something to me? I mean, come on now. You guys put in chat. If a woman is whooping your ass, what are you gonna do? Run, run. You run the other way. Lock yourself up, like lock yourself in the bathroom. Or I'm not for sure. Call the cops. I would suggest call the cops. This woman's, she's acting crazy. I'm gonna call the cops on you if you keep on doing it. I seen a woman beat a man down. She beat him down. She followed him and was beating him down. And then finally he just got fed up and he knocked her out. So it's like, how much are you gonna take? You know. And it's not realistic for you to say, oh, don't hit women. I mean, don't hit men or don't hit women and the woman hitting you. It's just not a realistic thing. Megan Good was holding hands with Jonathan Majors to court only for him to be found guilty. This isn't the ending I thought Miss Good would have for her reputation. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really don't think he's a bad guy. I really don't. A lot of people are saying that he's a bad guy. A lot of people don't like him. Women don't like him. A lot of women don't like him. Every time y'all are on the wrong side of history, and that pleases me, he's a dud, a fraud like we told you. Megan Good is the biggest bird of the century. He's a dud. The reason why he's a dud because he dated white women. He dated a white woman. And white woman or black woman is a slap in the face. You got all these black women, you gonna date a white woman. Anyway, You guys put it in chat. Let me know what you think. Let me get to some of your comments. We got Linda from Boss Ass, Linda from Dalton. Ken Gurr. Greg, you say that like sisters don't do the same BS. Greg, what did you say? Let's see if the young black actors coming after him are taking notes. We must learn from the mistakes of others. Leave that white meat alone. Okay, so I guess that's what you're talking about, Ken GR. Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to date in the opposite race. I really do think it's okay. I just think when you're in the limelight, you're just gonna be pegged like, dang, why you get a, you know how they say, you made it big, now you dropped the sister, now you gonna go to the white girl. You got millions of dollars now. Now you want to go over to the white person. But you get some of these Hollywood actors, and you don't see it mainly with black females. You see it with more black men, I guess. I'm not for sure. I think Hollywood is everywhere. I can't even say it with black or white actors. I think Hollywood is everywhere. But anyway, Dwayne Manziel, 20-year-old cases are BS. Say thanks to Amber Heard and the Me Too movement. Yeah. Do we know the racial makeup of the jury? No, we don't. We'll probably find that out later, but I'm pretty sure it was probably some men in the jury. And if it was some men, that's probably why it was a split jury. Ayanna Jackson was blanked by the people hanging around Tupac. So the DA used her anger to get Tupac. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, I think, Greg, I'm right. I was thinking the same thing. You asking her to act like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. And she not on like a regular, I think she's from London or somewhere. She don't even know the black movement. What are you talking about? But poor Jonathan Majors. They probably gonna try to go into a retrial or try to appeal this judgment, because I think he was wrongfully convicted. I really do think he was wrongfully convicted. Anyway, you guys, that's my time for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back at it tomorrow. So I'm sending all my good to you, and I will talk to you soon.